Yes, sir. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Episode 137. Me and my dog are back. Your favorite sports podcast. No, forget podcast. Your favorite show in the world. Sports, music, culture. We do it all. Prince and Barty. If you hear our voice in 2026 and still listening, we love and respect y'all. What's up, man? 2026. We here.
Man, you already know what I'm excited about. You know, two-time fantasy champ this year, six-time fantasy champ all time. Listen, you better. I ain't even the Michael Jordan of fantasy. I'm the Bill Russell of fantasy. Get at me.
All right, we
Facts.
go. Hey, we gonna get into all that, man. But let's get right to it, man. My partner has the line he always says for 20 years: NFL, not for long. NFL, not for long, man. Obviously, man, today was doomsday. A lot of coaching changes. Seven available head coaching positions in the National Football League. The most notable firing, John Harbaugh. You've been calling for his head for maybe like 3-4 years. I'm gonna give you your flowers. Even though you're not a Lamar guy, you always said it's Harbaugh, man. So talk to us about, it's kind of shaking up the sports world. Tony Dungy, it's a story coach, 18 years at an organization, man. He put time in, won in 2012, been a long time, but talk to us about the firing and kind of what you make of the Ravens in their future.
They should have been got rid of him, man. I mean, when you look at uh, who he was, what's been going on with him, and the whole setup, it's been time to fire him. When you look at what's going on, you got Lamar, you got Henry, you got Zay Flowers, you got all these studs, and you still can't be a all-time team. You still having issues with that. It just doesn't make any sense, man. So I'm happy for the new direction of the organization. And if I had to pick a head coach to come in, let me tell you what. Let's get Rex off of that ESPN panel because they need a better defense and a run-first offense. And we may be looking at a great team in the AFC.
Hey,
Rex
but
Ryan.
okay, Rex, I'm not mad at that. I know a lot of people are saying they need like somebody who could like running back. Well, yeah, Rex knows about the running back, about defense. But, like I said, 7 coach openings right now. A lot of people are talking about Cliff Kingsbury. He left Arizona. A lot of people are talking about him reuniting with Patrick Mahomes as the OC. Obviously Kingsbury and Mahomes, Texas Tech in college with Mahomes. What do you think about, Kingsbury instead of your boy coming back? You know who your boy is.
Listen, Cliff Kingsbury going with Lamar is a big setup. It's a big play. It's definitely good because he knows how to run an offense that will be open for Patrick Mahomes. But the only issue I would say in that situation is they got to get rid of all them old players. They need a totally new revamped roster. Even when you look at the Ravens had issues because they had old receivers in D-Hop. They got to get them old heads out. Juju Smith-Schuster, Travis Kelce, get it young again, get some speedsters so Patty can actually throw that deep ball like he's known to do.
Nah, real talk. But let me ask you this, man. You got Deion Sanders, you got Bill Belichick. Those are 2 notable guys who they make no bones about that they want to be NFL coaches again for Bill and for the first time for Deion. Do you see any of those 2 gentlemen going back to the NFL?
Maybe Dion. Bill Belichick, I think he's basically done. It has to be very appealing for him to come back. I mean, he's getting whacked across the head in North Carolina, but for him to go back to the NFL, it has to be the ideal situation. And right now, I don't see no ideal situation for Belichick.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's just a lot of openings, but it's not a lot of coaches out there that I'm looking at that I'm impressed with. Even in the quarterback market, man, the highest coveted free agent right now is Malik Willis,
That's true.
which is kind of crazy. No disrespect to Malik Willis, but that's kind of where we're at with it, man. But obviously, since we last recorded, Myles Garrett is the sack king. He passed Strahan. He passed, Watt. He's the king of the hill as far as the sack leader. You're a defensive guy, man. Where does this place Myles Garrett in the history of greats you've seen, like, the Bruce Smiths, the Lawrence Taylors, the Aaron Donalds? Where do you put him in the stratosphere as far as the great defenders that played the game?
Myles Garrett is made history. Yes, it was done in the 18-game season, but to see going and how he's moving at his position. When you look at a team that never plays with the lead, most guys who get sacked are people who play with the lead. This is what happened with T.J. Watt with Pittsburgh, Aaron Donald with the Rams. You're looking at a team where he's doing this with no offense. He is the driving force of the Browns. What he's done is more impressive because he is the Barry Sanders of the defense. We saw what Barry did with the Detroit Lions. He is the Barry Sanders of the defense. You have to give him all respect, man. The guy is a beast, man. He's a beast. I'm excited for him. I'm happy he broke the record. I'm excited to see what they do in Cleveland going forward because I want to see who they pair with him. And if they do get prime time as a coach, they may mess around and he may necessarily get a ring because Deion, like, he's going to up the team if he becomes the head coach of the Cleveland Browns.
Nah, for sure, man. If Dion's in Cleveland, you know, man, the cachet is through the roof. The free agent's gonna be there. He gonna bring Hollywood to Cleveland for sure, man. But let's get some way too early predictions, man. You know, the playoff picture's pretty much set. Give me your AFC champs and your NFC champs.
AFC, I'm leading with the Houston Texans.
Okay.
When you look at what they can do on that side of the ball, I think that they're going to be a problem for whoever they play. The landscape of the NFL and the AFC side, nobody has two sides of anything. Nobody's well-rounded. I think the most well-rounded team in the AFC is the Houston Texans. I got to stay with my pick from the beginning of the season. My pick beginning of the season for the AFC was the Ravens. They're eliminated, so that's why I'm picking the Texans. So NFC, I'm going Philly. Philly and the Texans in the Super Bowl.
So you don't feel that the Rams are a threat, any of these other teams are a threat to you. The Bears, these teams.
I think the Rams are our biggest threat, but for them to have to win every game on the road, that's a problem. We wouldn't see the Rams to the NFC Championship. The Rams have to win in Carolina, in Seattle, and then in Philly. And I don't think that they can do that. Think about this. They first got to fly all the way from the West Coast time zone to Carolina. Then they fly back to the West Coast to Seattle. Then they fly back from the West Coast to Philly. By the time they come to Philly, they're going to be jet lagged. Just traveling alone is going to mess them up. Philly will be back in the Super Bowl. Now, I don't know if Philly can beat the Texans because I think defensively we can shut them down. But the way Jalen Hurts has been playing, we need Saquon to be Saquon from last year if we're going to win the Super Bowl. So if I was a betting man, I'll take the Texans to beat the Eagles in the
So
Super Bowl.
you like the Texans over the Pats, over Denver. I'm kind of shocked at that.
Bo Nix, man. I'm not sold on Bo Nix. Bo Nix is not that guy. He's just not that guy. You can't roll with Bo Nix. Bo Nix is not that guy. I'm not a firm believer in Bo Nix at quarterback.
No, I get you, man. But let's go to Duval real quick, man. Jacksonville Jaguars, they back in the mix, man. All this without their number one draft pick, which is kind of crazy, man. You know, Travis Hunter obviously got hurt for the season. So a lot of people didn't know where the season was gonna go. Obviously, you get Jacoby Myers from the Raiders and you turn your season around. Let me ask you this though. Did Trevor Lawrence get the monkey off his back? You know, this is kind of his make or break year. You know, he's been in the league a while. They say he got Doug Peterson fired. So now he's doing this thing. You give him the running back, you give him the receivers, you give him a defensive system. What can the Jaguars do? You ain't pick them, but talk to me. How about are you impressed with Lawrence or what you thinking?
They can make the AFC Championship game. I think that both teams in the AFC South has proven to be some very great teams. I mean, when we look at the landscape of the AFC South, at the beginning of the year, we were talking about the Indianapolis Colts and Indiana Jones. And you watch both teams supersede the Colts. They've beaten teams like Denver. They've beaten teams like Denver lost to Jacksonville earlier. So when you look at Jayville, I think if there is a team that can dethrone the Texans, it would be that division foe in Jacksonville. Just because he's used to the defense. He knows how to maneuver around Danielle Hunter and Willie Anderson Jr. He knows what he's doing. So it's up in the air for that team, but we got to see what their receivers look like. One thing that I always look at is this. I haven't seen you in the postseason. I've seen the Texans win one postseason game. I've seen the Bills. This is wide open for the Bills. There's a possibility the Bills can make it to the AFC Championship or even the Super Bowl this year. But I just think that they're too light on the defensive side. I mean, they would need James Cook to be a Saquon Barkley. And that's the same with Jacksonville. Jacksonville's gonna need their skill positions to play at an all-time high versus the likes of that Texans defense. So that's why I don't have Jacksonville. Now, I think Jayville will win their opening playoff series versus the Buffalo Bills, but when they get to the next round, that's when they're gonna have problems.
Okay, let's stay with the Bills because I was about to segue to Josh Allen. You know, Josh Allen, up and down year, a weird year in the AFC. Obviously, Lamar's not in it, Patty's not in it, Joe Burrow's not in it. So some feel like this is Josh's best, easiest chance to get to a Super Bowl or possibly win one. What do you think about Josh Allen? It sounds like you think Jayville gonna handle them first round. So what does this do to Josh Allen's legacy that you lose first round and the three big dogs are not even in the playoffs? So what do you say to that?
Josh is in trouble because from the standpoint, they need all-world play from their running back, and they don't have that. You're not gonna get all-world play from your running back. They need all-world play from their receivers, and their receivers are not that good. So when you look at the landscape of the Bills are going up against defenses that are crazy. And Josh, with that bad will, that bad foot, it's gonna be an issue going forward for them. I root for Josh. I want Josh to win a championship, but I just don't see it. I don't see it being possible.
I respect it, man. But let's talk this Buccaneers, man. Follow that brings you up to the Bucks, man. You know, the Buccaneers, they remind me of Minnesota back in the days, you know, with Reed, with Chris Carter, and when Moss first came in, right? So I look at Godwin, I look at Mike Evans, aging receivers, right? And you got the young
Yeah.
boy coming up. And where do you go from here? You pick Baker to be a dark horse MVP candidate. We're big Baker Mayfield fans. We believe in Baker. He done proved people wrong his whole life. So it was shocking to see how they just nosedive the rest of the season and then really didn't really compete. Like it was, you lose to the Dolphins in a weird game. You just had weird losses. The Saints, like it's just, where do you think, what's next for Baker? I think Baker's still the guy, but like, what are they missing? I just don't get how they just keep underachieving.
It's crazy because Todd Bowles always has a defense, but their defense is not the defense of the Super Bowl. Devin White is on the Raiders. David is over the hill. I mean, you look at their cornerback and crew, their safety crew, they're all not on the level as they were when they won the Super Bowl. Winfield Jr. is not the same Winfield Jr. So I think they need a whole overturn on defense. Offense, they have the pieces. They have Bucky Irvin. They have Mike Evans. They have M'Baka. They have Baker Mayfield. But defense, they can't stop anybody. Everybody who was a great team can score on the Tampa Bay Bucks. And to beat the Panthers and still miss the playoffs shows that they had the greatest landslide we've ever seen going into the postseason, and they missed out on the postseason. At the beginning of the year, they were, and we were talking about how great they are. They're not the same anymore. When you look at that landscape, it's a killer for that team.
Think my dark horse, I'm gonna say this on air. My dark horse Super Bowl winner or to come out the AFC is the
Uh-huh.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Like so much
No, there's
so
nothing wrong with that.
so much so, I'm gonna put some bread on it. Hard Rock bet. I'm gonna put some bread on it. The reason I say that is I think even though the defenses aren't as iconic as, you know, the Flacco year, the Dilfer years of like kind of game manage, elite defense, I think Steelers could string some wins together and surprise some people. Even you get DK back. I think they're gonna be high energy. I'm not gonna lie, like, and I know I'm an Aaron Rodgers guy, but to go out there and win, we know Lamar them should have won. It was a field goal. They pretty much lost the game. Let's call it what it is, right? But to go out there and put up that kind of game without DK, your number one. Now, when the last time you heard Austin, his name be called? Like a lot of these people, a boy got cut. What's my guy name? From Thielen.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So to go out there with Thielen and Austin and put together two perfect drives, you got to respect all Aaron Rodgers, bro. So I think like that energy going in, that defense is still suspect. We can run on that defense, but I don't know. What you think about the Steelers?
Only problem is Steelers got to play Texans. And I think that they're gonna get the pressure on them. That's the problem. Like I'm rooting for Aaron Rodgers, but I just think that he did what he did versus a team with no defense. He has to do it against great defenses. And we gotta see which type of DK Metcalf we're gonna get back. Are we gonna get prime DK Metcalf when he chased down Buda Baker? we're gonna get DK Metcalf that want to punch fans on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Because that's the key. He needs a great possession receiver against a great defense. Because that's what makes defenses not blitz as much, not pin their ears back and go after the quarterback. When you have that possession receiver that's gonna kill whoever's on that other side of the defense.
Nah, that's real. Bro, you know what? Like I'm an NBA guy, but NFL, man, is just so much story, so much parody, man. Just you look at that Steelers and in Baltimore game, if he makes the field goal, Lamar's like, all right, Lamar brought everybody back, fought through the injuries. He's a hero, right? Now you're looking at Aaron Rodgers like he washed, like time for him to hang it up. Steelers lose, DK gonna get up out of there, bro. DK messed us up. If DK was here, I think now that Aaron Rodgers got them to the playoffs, I think either way he coming back. I think he coming at least for 1 year, win or lose, and then he gonna leave like that. I think he's very happy, bro, like in that organization. He feel the love. You know what I'm saying? So it's just interesting to see how Rodgers, what they do.
You heard the respect from Tomlin. I mean, Tomlin said that, this is why they got him in August, because they knew that he would win the big games and get them to the postseason. He got that $500K bonus for just making them to the playoffs. So, I mean, it's a big deal. Let's see if they can win into the next round. If they beat the Texans, Prince, then I change my pick, the Steelers in the Super Bowl. Because you beat the team that I'm calling the best team. So it's gonna be an interesting thing.
Man, let's go home team, man. Miami Dolphins. Tua, drama, Tyreek Hill, drama, McDaniel, drama. I'm hearing they might keep him on next season. Don't know how true that is. Tua was asked like if he would care about getting traded. He was like a change of scenery might be nice. It's over with Tua and the Dolphins. But let's put on our fantasy GM hat like we always do, man. What do you think the Dolphins' next move should be? Because it's not a lot out there, personnel-wise or coaching-wise.
Dolphins, man, listen, they even talking about keeping the head coach another year. And that's what scares me about them. Yeah, they went on a winning streak towards the end of the year, but they need to change things up on the defensive side of the ball. Other than Brooks, that defense is terrible. So you're banking on offense. You're just saying, well, Tyreek got hurt middle of the season. Maybe we would have made the playoffs if Tyreek was there. But defensively, you're not strong. You're in a division with the New England Patriots, who haven't been to the playoffs in a long time. It's number 2 seed. Buffalo Bills, still there. If you can't compete with those two teams, then you need to make some major changes. And if I was the GM, I'm getting rid of the coach and the quarterback.
Just start fresh.
Okay, they got to.
Nah, I feel you, man. But I know we talked about earlier the 7 coaching openings, might be 8 if McDaniels does get fired. Who are some people you think are some top candidates who aren't coaches? I think Denver's OC might be out of there.
Huh?
You know what I mean? So I think it's a few of them that's like these high-rated offenses, they're gonna be out of there. So who are you looking at to fill them spots? Or who would you like to see become a head coach?
Defensive coordinator from the Pats, the offensive coordinator from the Denver Broncos, the defensive coordinator from the Houston Texans. I mean, these teams, they look very good. Nothing from the Eagles because the OC's not good, and I don't think Vic Fangio ever wants to start anymore, be a head coach. I think he prefers being a defensive coordinator. So I can't see too many people changing or flip-flopping. So it's up in the air.
If y'all lose, would y'all go scoop up Bieniemy? If Eagles lose,
We would need Bieniemy. I think we need Bieniemy now.
yeah,
I mean, I'm ready for Pachula to get up out of there.
yeah. You haven't been a fan of him all year. That's real. That's real, bro. But nah, I think I'm excited for the NFL, man. I think it's gonna be some real competitive games. But let's get right to it, man. The fantasy champ, my boy. So talk to me about the whole season and how everything played out for you this fantasy season, bro.
Finished the regular season at 9-7. Got into the dance and I was in waivers, unlocking great players. Chris Jones, somebody cut him. He helped win the championship for me. Chris Jones had nothing to play for but get sacks because, Addy was hurt. Kelsey's at the end of his rope. So Chris Jones gave me 2 sacks. Daniil Hunter gave me some sacks. The defense was all world, man. I was the only team the last week to score 200 plus. Everybody stayed in the hundreds, maybe 150, 160. It was good, man. Bring home the pot, bring home the trophy. Not just a 2-time champion winner, but a 6-time. Live up to the name, Ace Lombardi. Y'all get at me. This is why they call me Barty, man, because I'm always winning fantasy championships.
Heard him. Pop it. You heard him, bro. It's just I seen a lot of people. One of my homegirls, a shout out to Tiffany Miguel. She just won 750 in her little league. So everybody getting their payout right now. It's damn near like tax season and shit. What you gonna do with that? Them
Yeah,
fantasy?
exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? But what's let me ask you this on air. What's some New Year's resolutions for Prince and Barty 2026? What we doing from Barty's perspective?
Syndication, man. I
There it
wanna be
is.
in every home. I wanna be in every home. Every home, I want everybody to tune in. I want everybody to check us out. I want some fan mail, you know what I'm saying? Let me get some more fan mail. Let me know all the Laker haters, all the Eagle haters, get at us so we can talk our ish, you know, and go from there, man. That's basically the vibe, syndication. That's all I care about. Anything less, as Chuck said, will be uncivilized.
Talk about it, man. Also, man, like we trying to acquire other brands, other podcasts too, man. So be on the lookout for that. Us dropping, more Prince and Barty TV content with other creators. Look out for that for sure. But bro, let's talk some movie stuff real quick in TV. I just finished the Welcome to thing. Why can't I think of the name right now? Name of the city.
Welcome to Jury.
Welcome to Derry. Yes. That was incredible, man. I loved how it was shot. I love how you got the origin of it, meaning I think like if people who didn't know about it aside from the clown, you realize I don't want to give it away, but you realize it's not the clown, it's a spirit, within he could just shape shift and all that. I didn't even know that. I thought as a jit it was just the clown. We didn't know the burial ground spirit kind of thing of it. So that was dope.
Yeah, I still haven't finished watching it. I got like 2 more episodes left before I finish it off. I'm still watching Power, so I'm excited to see how Power Force ends. 1 more episode left, see who all get killed off, see who's coming back. They starting Power Origins, so they're gonna do the story of when Ghost was young, Tommy was young, and when Kanan was young. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna get into Power. I trust your word, you're heavy on Power, so I haven't tapped back into none of the books of Ghosts, none of that. I ain't really tapping none of that.
Definitely, bro. I mean, it's so much to watch on TV. I've been watching Fallout. 2 Fallout's pretty good on Amazon
Yeah,
Prime,
I heard
so
about
I'm
that.
excited to catch. Yeah, Fallout's definitely good, bro. It's basically just like one of them nuclear holocaust shows, basically how the world will be after a nuclear war.
Yeah, man. We just want to kind of keep this show NFL, man. Big NFL games coming up, NFL playoffs, like a great time of year. Basketball, we gonna get to y'all, man. I'm just not a happy Laker fan at the moment, man. It's just we just going through that Laker slump that happens every year, where LeBron say that we top heavy as bleak, and
Exactly.
it feel like every Braun team is just this the time of year where it's a lot of finger pointing. So, but we'll get to that, man, next show. We gonna keep it NFL. But yeah, man, that's the show, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. That last episode, bro, I meant to tell you, last episode had like almost 100 downloads in the 7 days, and we ain't recording almost a month. So we appreciate y'all, man, for still tapping
Yep.
in.
Appreciate that support. Trust me.
For sure. We go definitely be more consistent, but you know how I go, man. We always gonna tap in with different content. Got some dope video content dropping soon. Like, comment, subscribe, go to that YouTube. Let's get these YouTube numbers up. We need y'all. YouTube numbers up, please. But yeah, man. New year, new us. Same vibes though, man. Prince and Barty tap in. See you on episode 138.
We out here, man. Y'all check us out. PNB, 100%.